That or you're just covered in liquids. All right, we will go ahead and get started with our race winner in today's Xfinity 500 here at Martinsville Speedway, the NASCAR Cup Series. We've been joined by Ryan Blaney, driver of the number 12 Ford for Team Penske. Ryan, obviously, familiar position that you were in a year ago. You guys won this race, went on to win the championship. You came in today needing to win again to advance to Phoenix, and you guys did it again. Just talk a little bit about coming into this week, how this weekend played out for you guys, and then ultimately how it feels right now.
It's I mean, it was a week of, I don't know, I mean, giving a race away at Homestead last week when it looked like we had a shot to get to Phoenix. It was definitely bummed us out on Sunday, but our group did a great job of Monday morning. We're going to go back in and we're going to do our jobs and we're going to figure out what we need to do to win Martinsville, and that's the way this team operates, and that's why I'm really proud to be a part of this group, and they just understand the next job, what's the next task, what do we have to do next, and we go do it, and or at least give our best effort into doing it, and that's all I can ask for from a team. So really special to be part of this group, and awesome to do it here tonight. We did it last year, but I feel like it was definitely a little bit different last year because we weren't in a must-win scenario. We just had to have a good day, and winning that one obviously was huge momentum. Coming in tonight needing to win, that was, I feel like, definitely more excitement, at least for me, and I think our guys too. So just super proud of everybody, and it's really fortunate that we get to go back and try to win another championship.
All right, we will open for questions. If you have one, raise your hand. We're going to get the mic to as many people as we can, and also please be patient as we do so. We'll start up front with Jordan.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. We talked about this. You said a year ago you thought the momentum from winning this race carried you guys through the week and into Phoenix. Is a win like this, again, something that can carry you through, even though you maybe are behind the eight ball a little bit compared to the 22 and the 45?
I definitely believe in momentum, and I believe in confidence and stuff like that, and I think this is the same as last year, right? I mean, you carry it into next week. And honestly, I mean, those guys had a couple weeks to kind of prepare, but it's like you can only prepare so much, right? Like how when your car's built, right? So it's like, and we even have guys, right? They're working on the Phoenix car just like it was going to the championship. Everyone does who's in the round of 8, just in case it does happen, and no matter what week it does happen. So people ask me like, which one would you rather win? And I don't care, any of them, to get to Phoenix. So this team's really prepared to do it, and hopefully we can carry that momentum that we had last year winning this race onto next week as well. So.
The consensus throughout the year was if the 20 car got to Phoenix, they were the favorite because of the success they had in the spring. The 20 car is not going there now. Either is Larson, who's another guy we kind of looked at as one of the championship favorites. You look at Team Penske, you guys have been great on flatter tracks this year. Iowa, North Wilkesboro, etc. Do you feel like this is either you or Logano's championship to lose at this point now?
No, I don't think that way. I mean, everyone's going to be strong. But us, the 22, the 45, and the 24, we're all going to be really fast. So no, I don't think there's like any favorites, to be honest with you. And I never look at favorites when it gets to the Champ 4 because everyone's there for a reason, and they're all teams are really fast, and they can be fast no matter what any given weekend at any given track. So it is nice though that we have 2 shots at it with us and the 22 guys. It'd be really special to bring Roger another championship. Third one in a row for this team. So it's nice to have 2 of us locked in and up a rod. So now it's time. It's a time for all of us to perform.
All right. Cameron
Richardson, NASCAR.com. Ryan, when you passed Byron with around 40 to go, you were 3 seconds back of both Larson and Elliott. I'm curious, in that moment, did you think you still had a shot to get them? And then when you heard the times going down, you started seeing the 9 and 5 come back to you. Just what was going through your head then?
Yeah, I guess my strategy was, the restart deal didn't help us. Like when the 8 lost his wheel, I lost 2 spots there. So honestly, I didn't understand. Like we didn't pass the start-finish line when the caution came out. At least I didn't think so. So I lost 2 spots. So I was like, oh damn, I had to restart like 10th. And when I got to Byron, I guess I was 4th. The 5 kind of seemed pretty far away, and I didn't think I had a ton of laps left. But I tried to keep in mind, like, they're going to catch the back of the pack, and they're going to slow down a lot, because that happens every run. You slow down like 3/10 when you catch 30 air as the leaders. I've done that, previous runs of this race. And honestly, I just like beat into my brain of just saving rear tire for that moment, because I used up rear tire trying to pass the 6 earlier in the race when I ran him down pretty quick, and I had no rear tire left to pass him, so I just tried too hard. So I just tried to stay disciplined, knowing they would back up to me, and I needed something to try to pass those guys and have something on corner exit. So I didn't know if I was going to get there. I knew there was a shot. And really my focus was just saving rears in case I did get a chance. I'd be able to capitalize on it like I wasn't able to with the 6 because I burned my stuff up. So, it was a long way back we came from. But I think saving a little bit there and being mindful of rears when I got to traffic allowed me to be a little bit more versatile when I got to those guys.
All right, we're going to go to Jeff Clark. I'll work my way around, so everybody just hang tight.
I have a bad memory, so this might not be accurate, but this win feels like you had to dig more than any other win you've had to, like in terms of really finding something extra and, going for it. What did you learn about yourself in that moment tonight?
I'm going to be honest with you. That's the most tired I've been after a race in a long time. My God, I was tired. I still am. It's the most worn out I've been, for sure. So, I don't know. I mean, just we stuck with it all night, and it's nice when things work out like that for you. And I laid the bumper to more guys than I would have liked tonight. I mean, I don't really do that, and it's not my MO. But I kind of had to do it in certain moments. I didn't think anything was super egregious, and I wasn't going to ever lay the bumper to the 9. That's for sure. Especially for the lead. So it was nice that we were able to race without contact there. But a couple of guys I kind of just had to go. But I don't know. I guess fight and determination. I mean, and it's the drive was great. How much time we made up's awesome. But that's it. You can make up that time when your car's really good, and we got our car really good, right? It makes me look like a hero, but at the same time, Jonathan and those guys did an awesome job of getting us where we needed to be. So definitely a joint effort. But I think just grit, just knowing where we restarted, knowing we didn't really have a ton of laps to get there, and having the car to do it. So this 12 group is just dogs, man. I mean, we've dealt with a lot of adversity through the year, ups and downs, and getting wrecked and getting caught up in BS that's not our fault, and everyone kind of overlooks this group, to be honest with you, especially in the playoffs. Like, we'll have a good week, and then we'll get wrecked the next week. Then we have a decent week. And it's just the ups and downs of it. This team has been fantastic all year. It's just hasn't been the smoothest of years. But, it's cool to go to battle with them every week, and going forward to going to battle with them again next week.
All right. Next.
Hey, Ryan. Justin Bradley, Fox 19, Cincinnati. Just wanted to kind of...
Buckeyes.
Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts a little bit. This is kind of... Your performance today reminds me of a guy like Kevin Harvick, a closer. So what is making you guys so clutch in these situations?
I feel like our group does a really good job of... and I've worked really, really hard on this with Jonathan and my guys. Is like... focusing on what I need at the end of these races. Like the last 2 runs of the race, where's the track going? How do we get ahead of the track that's going to change? Especially today, the sun started to go down and track changed pretty significantly. So I'm just trying to look forward to the end of the race. So, and we've done a really great job of preparing for that, looking at past history and just what's worked for us, in previous races through the year, when the track does start to change. So I feel like that's been great for us, and I didn't really do that very well when I was younger. My first few years of racing in the Cup deal, I just took it one lap at a time, and didn't really focus on the end of the race or changes that the racetrack was going through. So we worked really hard on that the last few years, and I feel like it's paying off.
All right, next we're going to go to Davey right here.
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. To Jeff's question, your answer, were you more worn out physically tonight, mentally tonight, both? What made this one so much different for you?
Tonight, I don't normally get worn out physically, and I was beat up tonight. I mean, I was tired. My freaking shoulders hurt. My chest hurts for some reason. I don't know why, but my hand hurts from banging on the roof of that thing, but I wasn't a smart move. But roof was sturdy. I think just more physically, just driving really hard. I've been more mentally worn out after certain races, but this one maybe not as much. It's just more physical, just pace is fast. You're sliding around. There's a lot of work going on in the car. So and shifting 4 times a lap, it's a lot. So every race here now is more physically demanding than what it used to be.
Was there any point tonight where you thought it just wasn't in the cards, whether it was the loss of track position, pit stops, lap traffic, anything?
I knew it was going to be hard to get there from where we restarted at the end. Restarted 10th. I figured it was going to be pretty difficult to get there. I was going to pass a lot of cars, a lot of good cars. I knew the tire stuff was a little bit of a mixed bag from 2 or guys who stayed out, and I knew the 9 was on 4. I knew the 3 and the 14 were on 4 that were ahead of me, and the 6 and the 11 were on 2, and then 24 and 5 who stayed out. And honestly, the 24 and 5 kept more pace than I thought. The 5 just struggled when he got to traffic, but I knew it was going to be a tall task, and especially once I finally got clear into 4th, he was still a long ways away from me, so I just didn't know if we were going to have enough pace to run him down, if my car was going to hang on and they were going to fall off, and my car just hung on better than those other guys, and especially the guys on older tires, the 5 and the 24, and then the 9. He started to struggle there on corner exit. Rears were pretty burned off of it. So I knew it was going to be a tall order, but really no point tonight I felt like we were out of it. I mean, I figured we could. I just always had the thought and confidence that let's just see what happens. If I can get there, great. If not, then we had a good night. It just wasn't meant to be.
All right, our next question will go to Jerry, and then we'll go up to Mark here in the middle. Go ahead, Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. You go into this next week as a defending champion. Joey's won a championship. Does that give you guys an advantage to some degree going into Phoenix over the other 2? And what's your prep mode at this point?
I don't know if it gives us an advantage over the other 2. I think just understanding what the week's like is pretty nice. Just having gone through it. I think it's Tyler's first time going through it, and it was mine last year, right? Of how's different is the week, all the different stuff. There's a lot asked of you for sure. I don't know. I think experience always does help, but I don't know if it's a massive advantage. Just at the end of the day, you're still racing. You're still trying to beat the other 3 guys. So. Just like you normally would, try to beat everybody else. So, but no, it's just nice to join Joey and the 22 group in there. Like I said, have another Ford that can try to get it done. So it'll be exciting.
And also, I asked Jonathan a while ago about how much prep you guys had actually done, or he had done on the car for Phoenix, because you being in a must-win situation, obviously this was the focus. He said he's about 15 to 20%, but he's not worried about it, that you guys will pull together. But it sounds like there may be some long nights before you head out to Phoenix.
Those guys are built on long nights. They'll get ready. They're down for it. They're ready to go. So, same way last year. That turned out pretty good for us. So, see if we can do it again.
All right, Mark, go ahead.
Mark Darrow, PRN. Ryan, we've had, Freddie Freeman grand slam to win a World Series game. We had the Hail Mary pass with the Washington team last week. Do you feel like this is sort of in the same category, and what is it like emotionally to hit the walk-off home run?
Yeah, I guess this could be the equivalent of it. Yeah, like a must-win situation and things like that. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've won in a must-win last race of the round before to get in. I don't know if I've done that before. So, yeah, I don't know. The emotions. I was pretty fired up afterwards. That's a rarity for me outside the car to bring that emotion. But you just understand that. You focus on what you want to do, and you understand that you had to win. There was no other option. If we ran second on back, you're not going to go to Phoenix. So I think just doing it in the fashion we did, and I was pretty pumped up about, how much ground we made up. We made up a lot of ground, and, it was just cool that we all came together, and then you could get another shot at it. We were fortunate to have a chance at it last year and did our jobs really well, and all you can ask for is another chance, and hopefully we do our jobs just as good, if not better. Definitely emotional. for everybody. Just super proud of everybody to stick with it and never get down on like situations that aren't going your way. Like they just have always tried to get better themselves, and that's a cool group to be with. So yeah, I'm proud for everybody.
All right, next we'll go over here in the corner.
Hi, Liam Herbert, Auto Racing Digest. We saw Bubba come up and give you a few words of congratulations. What does it mean to you to be racing not only with teammates on track, but with some friends as well?
Yeah, well, I was really fortunate to grow up, with a few of these guys, Bubba and Chase, and we've known each other for over 20 years and started racing together when we were really young. And I've been really lucky to have friends that, you became buddies when you were children, and we're pretty lucky to be racing at this level today. You never know how things work out and who's going to get what opportunities. So I've been really lucky to have those guys that you can kind of lay back and BS with, who do the same job as you. Be really respectful of each other on the racetrack, but also I feel like we race each other harder than anybody, just because we trust each other, because you trust your friends and you want to beat your friends more than a lot of people. So yeah, it's great to have their support. It was fun to race Chase for the win. That was like a storybook thing right there. It's like, well, both of us have to win. It's my good buddy, let's go, and luckily our car was a little bit better than his at the end. But been lucky to have some really good guys, fellow drivers around me that I grew up with, and childhood friends. So not a lot of people can say that, so I'm really lucky.
All right, go ahead. We'll get the mic to you.
Hey, Ryan. Evan from the Gazette Virginian. NASCAR has become such a legacy sport with Bill and Chase and any of the drivers and their dads. How much of the lessons have you learned from your dad in preparing for a win like this?
I was lucky as a kid to watch Dad grow up as a kid watching Dad do this, and it's a pretty unique thing as a kid to watch your parent do, and that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to do what my dad did, and was really lucky that I got a chance to do what my dad did. So and he taught me everything that I know, and he still comes today. He was here with my mother and my Uncle Dale, his brother. It's always nice to have them around, and his support for me has obviously been the only reason I'm here, right? If he didn't support me when I was a kid or a teenager, I wouldn't be here at all. And it's great that he's still, even though he retired from racing this year, that he's still, here and always giving me words of wisdom. And it's neat how that father-son dynamic changes, over time as you get older, and your relationship changes with your family and your dad. It's just always special to have him here. I've been lucky to have great family around me. My mom lost her mom a couple weeks ago, so it was nice to have her here tonight and try to cheer her up a little bit from losing her. So it was I owe Dad a lot, and it's always fun to have him on the journey.
All right, go ahead.
Ben Cower, FM 88 Sports. Ryan, I noticed that you and Kyle ran 103 laps in practice. You ran more practice laps than anybody. Obviously, you were great on the long run tonight. Was that a matter of just trying to figure out the tires in practice, or were you trying to practice what made you perfect tonight, long run speed?
I feel like us as a group on the 12 team, we've always really paid a lot of attention to long runs, laps on tires, things like that. And that's just kind of been our MO, for the last few years with this car. And I think you see it a lot. Like practice, we don't put up a huge lap. Qualifying, we're just kind of okay. But our long runs pace is just really great. And hey, sometimes it bites you. Sometimes you get some short runs at the end of these races and you can't really fire off as fast and it doesn't work. But sometimes you get some long runs and it does work for you. So, yeah, we've always put huge emphasis on does the car change throughout the run, and how do I need to change my driving style up, and how do we need to change the race car to be decent through the run. So we've always made a lot of laps in practice. Jonathan loves giving me old tires. But I've enjoyed that as well, because I think it makes our race just that much better.
All right, we'll take a question here in the middle.
Jordan Bondar, ESPN Richmond. Ryan, in other team sports, I think the mantra goes like you want to be playing your best as the postseason rolls around, especially knowing that you qualified to get there. with the exception of Watkins Glen and Talladega, throughout this playoff run, do you feel like you've been putting together your best string of racing so far?
Well, yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this group's speed, honestly, has been pretty spectacular. Like, yeah, I look at the Glen and I look at Talladega and I look at Vegas was a long weekend. You know, it's like one race in each round has just been awful for us, like just getting in a wreck. Nothing really we've done. It just has happened. So it's nice to fight and persevere through that and still make it to Phoenix. Like, hasn't been the smoothest of playoffs for us, but we've dug down deep and just really believed in each other and trusted each other. So, and I've said it many, many times, but like, that's what I love about this group I have around me is like, they just don't ever really get bummed out, maybe for a little bit the night, but then they just move on, you know, and they figure out where do we need to be better and how do we need to be better. So, yeah, even though it hasn't been the smoothest for us, I feel like we've been performing the best that we've ever performed and doing everything as a 12 team better than what we've ever have. So you always just want to improve each year, and I think we've improved from where we were last year and in 22 as well. So you just hope to kind of keep doing that. I have a question. What happened at the end of the race? I have no idea. I have no clue what happened. People came up to me in Victory Lane. Someone asked me, and they said, "Hey, how about that?" I have no clue what happened. I don't even know who's in. The 24 is in?
Byron got in. It took them 27 minutes to decide. So you have a lot to say.
They determined that Bell rode the wall in turn 3.
Hail Melon did.
And they, after Bubba slowed down with a flat tire or something, broke and allowed Bell to pass.
The Chevy was manipulating that too.
They literally were like, had like an Armada, like blocked behind Bell where no one could get away. And they were slow. That's the clip.
Yeah, we don't have. There's a lot more. There's a lot more. I'm gonna have fun on the drive home. All right. Listen to late night. Yeah. Are we doing a teardown? Afterwards?
So you're glad that you're not in any of this controversy?
Fucking right I am. Yeah. So happy I'm not in it. Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know anything about it. I had no clue who was in, who was out, what people were talking about, why they started cheering and booing on the front stretch. I had no clue. Like, after 20 minutes after the race, yeah, I was on stage and they started like making a big fuss. I was like, I don't know what happened. Someone fighting? No clue. Cool. Maybe for once, I won't pay attention to my radio as much. It's good.
Oh, they still paid attention to it during the race.
Yeah,
for sure.
well, yeah. What you gonna do?
All right, Ryan, one final question I'll ask you, and then we'll end and let you go. You have an opportunity to defend your title next week in Phoenix. Tyler Reddick is in the Champ 4 for the first time, has the opportunity to win a championship. Both of you came, essentially through kind of that same development series or development team, I should say, with BKR back in the day. Did you think back then when you guys were in trucks, that you would at some point battle each other for a championship at the highest level?
No. I mean, I hoped it would happen. Like, I just hoped at that time to get to the Cup Series and drive for Penske and be able to do something. But yeah, I mean, I think it just shows Brad's program there. I mean, there's been a lot of great drivers that have come through that, and I was really fortunate to be part of it. Between myself, Tyler Reddick, Ross Chastain, Daniel Hemrick, Austin Cindric was part of that. There's been a lot. His pedigree over there at BKR was amazing, and I owe Brad a lot because he gave me my first chance in NASCAR, with BKR and Team Penske. So yeah, it's just neat to kind of have that connection. So no, I never would have thought it back then. And it's funny, like, I ran for his truck team in 13 and 14, so it's 10 years now that we were over there, and now we're here. So just a dream come true, and lucky along the way that people have trusted me and believed in me, and that definitely means a lot.
All right, congratulations again.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, to all of the media.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.